Hey, great day. Welcome to the House of Masculinity. I'm Blackjack. We're back one more time on the Shabbat. Salute. And we normally do movie nights on the Shabbat for members only live streams, but we switching it up this Shabbat. We ain't doing movie nights. I was expecting a movie to come in the mail, but I ain't received it today, so we're gonna postpone movie night to next Saturday. We're gonna do it for everybody tonight. Salute Tribal. Salute the Valiant Alfred in the house. Salute. And like I said, we got a good show lined up, y'all. The title of the show is Robinson Crusoe, and I know y'all saw the thumbnail. Hey, by the way, hit the like, subscribe, share the video, salute if you haven't done so already. And we're gonna go back to the intro for a second. Let y'all take a look at this thumbnail from a third eye view, not a bird eye view. Salute. And yeah, Robinson Crusoe. This was a novel. And we're gonna get into it. Y'all know I got my sources. Y'all know I keep receipts. I'm gonna show y'all where it comes from and how it relates to you, Managa. Salute. And on the thumbnail, we're looking at from the bird eye point of view. We see Becky on the front holding the bird and the gun, and then we see the Naga in the background. Salute. So let's blow it up and get a better look at the Naga in the background. You know what we came for. Hit that like. Salute. Well, what do we have here? I also see a colonizer ship in the background, and the Naga has on hoop earrings. Salute. Well, I be darned. Man, it must have been 1 million pairs of gold hoop earrings in America before Columbus got here. Every time I see a Naga in America, they got on gold hoop earrings and a pearl necklace, one or the other or both. Well, we getting a good look at this Naga. Somebody might call this a pickaninny or, you know, all kind of racial slurs. They call for the American Negro. But we clearly see who it is on this book cover for Robinson Crusoe. Like I said, I'm gonna blow it up a little more so everybody see it. Salute. And it looks like the character is cooking, like he got a pot in his hand or a pan, and he cooking up something. Salute. Y'all see that? Hit me up in the chat. Let me know if you see that. Yeah, we just digging on Robinson Crusoe. We're gonna talk about where this come from and who is Robinson Crusoe. But I wanted to take a look at the book cover from a third eye point of view first. See if we can get as much information as we can from our own point of view. Yeah, like he got a fork in his hand and the pan, he cooking on the fire. It could be a he or a she, I'm not sure. Cause the men and the women wore hoop earrings. Salute. But this is what we looking into today. We looking into Robinson Crusoe on the Shabbat. Salute. Shalom on the Shabbat. Y'all hit the like, share the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to support monetarily, we got the Cash App at the top of the screen. Cash.app/House of Cons. Cash.app/$House of Cons. Salute. Formerly known as the House of Masculinity. I'm gonna shrink this image back down so we get one more look at it. Then we're gonna move on and we're gonna see where the source comes from. So if you want to look it up yourself, you know I always got the receipts. We have nothing to hide. Nothing to hide. All right. So Robinson Crusoe, let's get into it. If you heard of Robinson Crusoe, hit me up in the chat and let me know what you know about Robinson Crusoe, or hit me up in the chat and let me know where you at. Salute. And if you're new to the channel, we actually done a members only live stream on a film based on the Robinson Crusoe novel, but you had to be a member to catch that one. It wasn't up for the public view. It's a members only live stream. But let's dig into this Robinson Crusoe and see what it's all about. Salute. All right, I'm on Wikipedia. I like to use Wikipedia, even though I know they got a lot of hijack. But I like to call them out on their hijack. And I like to eat the meat and spit out the bones. I like to look for what's useful. But we just talking Robinson Crusoe right now. And we, like I said, we on Wikipedia. And I'm strolling. Let me get the screen correct where y'all can see what's going on. We on Wikipedia. All right, Robinson Crusoe is a novel by Daniel Defoe, First published on the 25th of April, 1719. That's a long time ago. That's 304 years ago. That's a long time. That's a 304-year-old novel. Ain't nobody on the earth today was living back then. Everybody that was living back then, long gone. They long dead and gone. But we looking at some work from somebody who was living back then. Daniel Defoe, Robinson Crusoe. You know, we got a lot of New Jack City, New Jack hijacks to come tell us all about history. But we're going to go look back 304 years, and we're going to see what the people back then had to say. So Robinson Crusoe is a novel by Daniel Defoe. First published on the 25th of April, 1719. The first edition credited the work's protagonist, Robinson Crusoe, as its author, leading many readers to believe he was a real person and the book a travelogue of true incidents. Epistolary, confessional, and didactic in form, the book is presented as an autobiography of the title character, whose birth name is Robinson Crusoe, a castaway who spends 28 years on a remote tropical desert island near the coast of Venezuela and Trinidad. So we talking into America. Salute. Venezuela and Trinidad. We talking America, my knocker. Roughly resembling Tobago, encountering cannibals. Oh, here we go with the cannibals talk. Captors and mutineers before being rescued. The story has been thought to be based on the life of Alexander Selkirk, a Scottish castaway who lived for 4 years on a Pacific island called Mas Atiera, now part of Chile, which was renamed Robinson Crusoe Island in 1966. Despite the simple narrative style, Robinson Crusoe was well received in the literary world and is often credited as making the beginning of realistic fiction as a literary genre. It is generally seen as a contender for the first English novel. Before the end of it's a contender for the first English novel. Before the end of 1719, the book had already run through 4 editions, and it has gone on to become one of the most widely published books in history, spawning so many imitations not only in literature, but also in film, television, and radio, that its name is used to define a genre, the Robinsonade. So anybody ever heard of Robinson Crusoe? You know, it's a popular thing. At least it was 300 years ago, and after that, well, let me know if you heard of it. If you haven't, though, we're going to talk about it. So the plot summary. Robinson Crusoe, the family name corrupted from the German name Crusoe, set sail from Kingston upon Hull on a sea voyage in August 1651 against the wishes of his parents, who wanted him to pursue a career in law. After a tumultuous journey where his ship is wrecked in a storm, his desires for the sea remain so strong that he sets out to sea again. This journey too ends in disaster, as the ship is taken over by Saleh pirates, the Saleh rovers, and Crusoe is enslaved by a Moor. So he was enslaved by a Moor. White Crusoe got enslaved by a Moor, right? 2 years later, he escapes in a boat with a boy named Zuri. A captain of a Portuguese ship off the west coast of Africa rescues him. The ship is en route to Brazil. Crusoe sells Zuri to the captain. With the captain's help, Crusoe procures a plantation in Brazil. Years later, Crusoe joins an expedition to purchase slaves from Africa, but is shipwrecked in a storm about 40 miles out to sea on an island off the Venezuelan coast. So he didn't make it. He got stuck in Venezuela, and he supposed to have been going to so-called Africa, which we know is fiction. But they say he ain't make it. He got stuck on the island off the Venezuela coast. Now peep this, which he calls the Island of Despair, near the mouth of the Orinoco River, on 30th September 1659. He observes the latitude as 9 degrees and 22 minutes north. He sees penguins and seals on the island. Only he, the captain, dogs, and 2 cats survived the shipwreck. Overcoming, say only him, his dog, 2 cats, and his parrot. It's supposed to be a parrot too, and the movie had a parrot. Overcoming his despair, he fetches arms, tools, and other supplies from the ship before it breaks apart and sinks. He builds a fenced-in habitat near a cave, which he excavates. By making marks in a wooden cross, he creates a calendar. By using tools salvaged from the ship and some which he makes himself, he hunts, grows barley and rice, dries grapes to make raisins, learns to make pottery, and raises goats. He also adopts a small parrot. He reads the Bible and becomes religious, thanking God for his fate in which nothing is missing but human society. More years pass and Crusoe discovers cannibals. See, here we go. He's supposed to discover cannibals on the island. Now he near Venezuela on the island, right? Who occasionally visit the island to kill and eat prisoners. He planned, alright, so if the island was deserted, how would the cannibals be visiting there to eat prisoners and kill them? He just said it wasn't no human society. So see, you see the discrepancy. He plans to kill them for committing an abomination, but later realizes he has no right to do so, as the cannibals do not knowingly commit a crime. He dreams of obtaining one or two servants by freeing some prisoners when a prisoner escapes. Crusoe helps him, naming his new companion Friday. So they're not in Africa, they're near Venezuela. And he calls them cannibals. After the day of the week, he appeared. Crusoe teaches Friday the English language and converts him to Christianity. After more cannibals arrive to partake in the feast, Crusoe and Friday kill most of them and save two prisoners. One is Friday's father and the other is a Spaniard who informs Crusoe about other Spaniard shipwrecks on the mainland. A plan is devised wherein the Spaniard would return to the mainland with Friday's father and bring back the others, build a ship and sail to a Spanish port. Before the Spaniards return, an English ship appears. Mutineers have commandeered the vessel and intend to maroon their captain on the island. Crusoe and the ship's captain strike a deal in which Crusoe helps the captain and the loyal sailors retake the ship, which their ringleader executed by the captain. The mutineers take up Crusoe's offer to be marooned on the island rather than being returned to England as prisoners to be hanged. Before embarking for England, Crusoe shows the mutineers how he survived on the island and states that there will be more men coming. Alright, so this is long. It's going to tell you about the characters right here. It say the characters is Robinson Crusoe, who was shipwrecked, right? He was German or something, the narrator of the novel who gets shipwrecked. Then Friday, the native Caribbean, the Carib Indian, right? Who Crusoe saves from cannibalism and subsequently named Friday. He becomes a servant and friend to Crusoe. So I wanted to focus right there on Robinson Crusoe and the native Caribbean, Friday. The Carib Indian named Friday. He named him Friday, right? They claim this is based on a true story, Managa. So let's dig a little further. They say his name was Friday, the native Caribbean, who became his servant, who enslaved, right, and friend to Crusoe. He say he saved him from cannibalism. All right, let's scroll down. Let's see how he looked. Let's get past religion and all this. We don't even want to see all that. We don't even need to see all this. Skip all this. Let's see what Friday looked like. All right, so here they say Crusoe standing over Friday after he frees him from the cannibals. Now check this out. Now it's on Wikipedia. I want to let you know right now, Friday could not look anything like this. This is an image of a pretendian. He has long straight hair. He is not a Negro. This is a hijacked image and I'm gonna prove it. So they're showing you supposed to be Robinson Crusoe standing over Friday. Let's continue to stroll. Let's see what else this got to offer before we move on. This Wikipedia with some new jack hijack. Somebody put this on here. No telling when. All right, so this is all they got to offer on that. So let's move on. Because we know on the book cover, they depicted the Friday Carib Indian like this. Robinson Crusoe. Friday was depicted as a Negro. Not a long hair, straight red man salute. So we're connecting dots. Here's Friday. Robinson Crusoe. This is what we're reading about. Robinson Crusoe. Here's the book. You tell it's an old book cover the way the art is. But they want to show us on Wikipedia hijack city. They want to say, nah, yeah, we know it's a Carib Indian, so he look like this now. Say, you Nagas from Africa. So we see Wikipedia with the shenanigans. When we saw the people that made the book had a whole nother cover. So let's look at the film, Man Friday. Man Friday is a 1975 adventurous film directed by Jack Gold and starring Peter O'Toole and Richard Roundtree. It is an adapted from the 1973 play by Adrian Mitchell based on Daniel Defoe's 1719 novel, Robinson Crusoe. but reverses the roles, portraying Crusoe as a blunt, stiff Englishman, while the native he calls Man Friday is much more intelligent and empathetic. Empathic. I mean, the film can be regarded as being critical of Western civilization. There we go. We're talking America. Against which it draws a contrasting picture of Caribbean tribal life. Who is the Caribbean tribal life? The Negroes. Not this hijacked Wikipedia just tried to show us. This is fake. This is not a Caribbean Indian. This is not a Caribbean Indian. This is not a Taino. This is fake. This is hijacked. We know in 1719, when Defoe wrote his book, it was Negroes. And that's who they got to depict Friday in the film and on the book cover. So, look, but reverses the roles, while the native he calls Man Friday, the native, the Negro, the Naga, right? Tribal life, but not African, Managa. Friday and 4 of his friends arrive in a canoe on the island on which Crusoe has been stranded for years when they start to consume a deceased comrade, like in a reverent form of ritual cannibalism. Now we know that's a lie. They called you cannibals to take your land, remember? You forgot already? Doom Diverses? It was all just a ploy to take your land. They wrote books and stuff. Doom Diverses is a Papa Bull issued on the 18th of June 1452 by Pope Nicholas V, authorizing all of Europe to conquer Saracens and pagans and consign them to perpetual servitude. Right? Perpetual Saracens, pagans, cannibals, perpetual servitude, make them slaves. The background, we don't need to read the background, let's just get straight to it, the content. We grant you these present documents without apostolic authority, full and free permission to invade, search out, capture, and subjugate the Saracens and pagans and any other unbelievers and enemies of Christ, wherever they may be, as well as their kingdoms, duchies, counties, principalities, and other properties, and to reduce their persons into perpetual servitude, perpetual slavery, Managa. American Indians, not Africans, Caribs, like Man Friday, Managa. You see what's going on here? They want to conquer and subjugate you, conquer and subdue you, Managa. Just like Pleasure of the Smoke told us, they want to subdue the Indians, the nappy-headed Negro. Right there at the bottom, last sentence. Bacchus's discovery and consumption. Let me scroll up, make sure you see it. Bacchus's discovery and consumption of tobacco. See this right here? A 1716, 3 years before that novel, a 1716 poem on tobacco linked Bacchus's discovery and consumption of tobacco to his ability to subdue the Indians. He wanted to subdue the Indians for the tobacco. Who is he subduing? Who is Bacchus trying to subdue for the tobacco? The Indian. Boom. What else you need, Managa? 1716. But we was really just comparing this, connecting dots to Robinson Crusoe from 1719, which they want to show you a pretender when we know it's the Naga. They want to subdue you. The Carib tribal life, huh? Showing you who the real American Indian is. Y'all should dig on this. They calling you a cannibal so they can enslave you and take your land. They liars. Friday is very quick to learn the English language. Crusoe then tries to teach him Western concepts like property, sports, punishment, fear of God, and so on. But Friday's reaction is only one of bewilderment and amusement. He said, Naga, I'm the son of God. He said he begins to question and mock these concepts that seem senseless and destructive to him. One day he rebels, refusing to be a slave anymore. Who they enslave? Africans? Nope. Carib Indians, Tainos, Americans, Managa, American Indians, Managa, American Negroes. Who they subdued and enslaved? Managa, you. You're not an African, Managa. Stop the bullshit. You don't have receipts proving that you're African. We got more receipts proving you're not. Subduing the Indians, Managa. Do you see a $5 fake red man anywhere? Do you see a fake Cherokee anywhere in this picture? No. Cut the crap, Managa. It says, yeah, he after some conflict, Crusoe has to admit that he could not live in solitude anymore, so he concedes in regarding Friday as a human being, although not as an equal. To do so, he starts to pay Friday 1 gold coin per day for his labor, an ambivalent sign of respect, as there is no use for money on a remote island where there's only 2 people, right? What you need money for? Another trick. When an English ship appears, Crusoe is overjoyed. 2 men arrive in the boat and are invited for dinner, but it turns out that they are slave traders who want to capture both Crusoe and Friday. Now, they want the white man and the Naga, huh? They want to capture them both for slaves, huh? Where at? In near Venezuela on the island, not Africa. So the latter collaborate in killing the intruders when their violent motives are revealed, and the ship sails away, leaving the protagonist stranded as before. For a while, a kind of friendship develops between Crusoe and Friday. Friday thinks that he maybe can teach Crusoe his more relaxed way of living and not to be controlled by thoughts of power, guilt, and fear, which were very strong traits in Crusoe's personality. Yeah, his European personality, his European standard of personality. Yeah, thoughts of power, guilt, and fear. One day, Crusoe falls back into his old delusion of being a superior being. He had began trying to teach Friday in a mock-up school for a while, ridiculously complete with a chalkboard. We see that the topic of the day written on the chalkboard is civilization. Obviously, for Crusoe, this is a culmination point where his concepts are ultimately confronted with those of Friday. He gets in a frenzy and binds Friday to a pole, then holds a frightful lunatic sermon about the superiority of his ways while threatening Friday with his gun. In the end, he shoots, but not at Friday, but at his own talking parrot, which had been his sole companion before Friday's arrival. After that shocking experience, Friday gives up his attempts to change Crusoe. The friendship also ends, leaving only the relationship of Crusoe as master and Friday as a paid servant. After several years, Friday has accumulated 2,000 gold coins, the price that Crusoe once mockingly called for the hut and all his belongings. Friday now turns Crusoe's Western ways against him, catching him by surprise. He throws the gold on the table, declaring himself the owner of the material property. Swiftly, he takes control of baffled Crusoe's gun and coldly declares that the master-servant relationship is inverted now. He forces Crusoe to build a solid raft, and both men put to sea for Friday's home island. When they have arrived there, Friday tells the story of their relationship to the gathered tribe, which reacts with astonishment and amusement about the strange ways of Crusoe. When the latter requests to join the tribe, proposing that he could teach the children, Friday strongly speaks against. He said, "Hell nah, you ain't teaching the baby Nagas, the golden gooses, you crazy," saying that the only thing Crusoe teaches is fear. So Crusoe is rejected and returns to his solitary islands where he commits suicide. He kicked his own bucket, Naga. Salute. Hey, peace to George Witch III in the house. Salute. So we know they talking American Negroes, the true Indians. We're seeing the depictions in them for the movie of Friday, which was based on the book Robinson Crusoe, which Wikipedia want to show you this, saying that this is supposed to be Friday, even though the very people that made the book Robinson Crusoe showed you this as Friday, showed you a niglet. So you see how they want to whitewash you, Naga. They want to hide your history. You think this government ain't out here trying to whitewash you? You crazy, Naga. You got to be out your mind if you think they ain't playing tricks on you. Friday or Robinson Crusoe. We're gonna focus on the character now, right? They showed you that. They showed you all of this. I wanted to show you something though about this, because we're gonna connect some more dots with this. All right, so Friday was the Naga who they want to whitewash, right? Let's check this out. I'm gonna show you something. Friday, we're gonna get down into his character. It's one of the main characters of Daniel Defoe's 1719 novel, Robinson Crusoe, right? Let's scroll down. Look. It say the character is the source of the expression "man Friday," used to describe a male personal assistant or servant, especially one who is particularly competent or loyal. Current usage also includes girl Friday. It is possible that a mosquito pirate by the name of Will became the inspiration for the character Friday. Now, mosquito, that's an Indian tribe. The Mosquito Indians, my naga. See, let me click back on it. The mosquitoes. Let me stroll up so y'all can see this. Let me stroll it up. It say it was possibly a mosquito. So Friday's inspiration was possibly a mosquito pirate by the name of Will. So the mosquitoes are a native people in Central America. You see how they look, my naga? Honduras. I got a homie for Honduras. Shout out to my naga Dixon. Salute. Straight up nagas. That's what a mosquito Indian look like. Character. Robinson Crusoe spends 28 years on an island off the coast of Venezuela with his talking parrot, his pet dog, and a tame goat as his only companions. In his 25th year, he discovers the Carib cannibals, Carib Indians, see? Caribs. Occasionally use a desolate beach on the island to kill and eat their captives. We know that's a lie. Crusoe helps one of the Caribs. Caribs, right? Carib Indians, not Africans. Who was they enslaving? Carib Indians, my naga. All up in Haiti. All over the place. Let me put it in the right way so they won't be playing games. You don't put black in, they're gonna show you a hijack. True Carib Indians, here they go, my naga. Nagas. They're not Africans. They was already there. They've been there since creation, my naga. Carib Indians. They want to call them Garifuna or whatever. We talking Carib Indians. Carib Indians. Nagas. Negroes. Nappy-headed Negroes, my naga. Nappy-headed Negroes. Not Africans. That's false. That's false. We're talking Caribs. Carib Indians. All right, let's continue. So we see who they get their inspiration from Friday. Let's go back. Okay. Just scroll down some more. Crusoe describes Friday as being a Native American. My naga salute. What did he describe him as? An African? What about an African American? Did he describe him as an African American? What about a black? What about a Negro? What about just an African? Nope. He described Friday as being a Native American. How did he look? How did he look? Oh, okay. That's what a Native American looked like. Okay. I see what's going on here. Though very unlike the Indians of Brazil and Virginia. He say very unlike the Indians of Brazil and Virginia. Who the Indian? Look, this supposed to be the indigenous peoples of Brazil, which we know was a lie. This is whitewash. I don't care how dark they is. This is not you, Managa. This is fake. These people probably came from a eugenics laboratory at a world fair where they was putting people in human zoos. This fake stuff right here. They want to hide you, Managa. They want to hide you. They say his religion involves the worship of a mountain god. I don't believe all that. Friday is cannibalistic. They want to call the Negro accountable to enslave him. They call him that because he's black. Yeah. Now what all this got to do besides him being a Naga and him being an American Indian? Well, I'm gonna show you. It's all about the noble savage trope. They calling him a noble savage. They say he became Crusoe's friend. He was happy to help. He was a noble savage. They say Robinson Crusoe. They say Man Friday was a noble savage. And before we jump back into the noble savage, we're gonna go across it one more time and what it truly is, and point out one more thing for you. Robinson Crusoe. Robinson Crusoe, Friday and the Noble Savage. See? Who's the Noble Savage? Robinson Crusoe, Friday and the Noble Savage. We just read that Crusoe describes Friday as being a Native American, an American Indian. It said Crusoe described Man Friday as being a Native American, though very unlike the others. That's what he says, right? He said he's a Native American. How did he look? Not like that. How did he look? Like that, Monaga. How did he look? Like that, Monaga. We just finna make something clear, man. That's all. Say he described him as being a Native American. All right. And we talking noble savage when we talk Native Americans, right? So let's go back to something real quick. Let's go back here. Robinson Crusoe, Friday, and the noble savage. That's one. I call him Friday, the epitome of the noble savage. That's two. Robinson Crusoe first season rescues his man Friday, the noble savage. Noble savage. Noble savage. Noble savage. How many you need to see? Let's just click on one. We don't matter. Let's just pick one. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a naga by the toe. Here, let's pick this one. English literature essays. I call him Friday, the epitome of the noble savage in Robinson Crusoe. They described him as a Native American, and they said he's the epitome of the noble savage. We ain't gonna even read this. I just want to point that out to you. We don't play no games. We connecting dots over here. We pull out receipts and records, and we're not playing. We're back on Wikipedia with this fake $5 noble savage when we just saw what the real epitome of the noble savage was. Man Friday, the Naga, the Negro. In Western anthropology, philosophy, and literature, the noble savage is a stock character who is uncorrupted by civilization. Who are they talking about? The historical painting, The Death of General Wolfe, features a noble savage Indian. How come he don't look like Friday? This is fake. So they talking 1771. They ain't talking 1716 to 1719. That's a hijack. Stroll down some more. Just go on. We ain't skip the origin. We skip all this. Let's just go into the meat of this. Fake noble savage crest. Scroll down some more. Scroll way on down. You can read this one on your own. It's a lot to it. We done covered it over here before on other live streams, but we gonna always bring it back when necessary and connect the dots, because we're gonna make this a household thing. All right, cultural stereotypes: the Roman Empire, Al-Andalus, Kingdom of Spain. Here we go. Let's talk about Spain. In the 15th century, the 1400s, soon after arriving to the Americas in 1492, the Europeans employed the term savage to dehumanize the indigenous, noble, savage natives. What natives? The indigenous, noble, savage natives of the newly discovered New World. Who they wanted to dehumanize, take the land and enslave? The noble, savage natives, the Naga, the Man Friday. Do you get it, my Naga? What more evidence do you need? As ideological justification. They call them savage Naga to justify, for ideological justification for the European colonization of the Americas. Not the colonization of Africa, the colonization of the Americas. Called the Age of Discovery, 1492 to 1800. Thus, with the dehumanizing stereotypes of the noble savage and the indigene, the savage and the wild man, the Europeans granted themselves the right to colonize the natives inhabiting the islands and the continental lands of the northern, central, and southern Americas. The conquistador mistreatment of the indigenous people of the viceroyalty of New Spain, 1521 to 1821, eventually produced bad conscience recriminations amongst the European intelligentsias for and against colonialism. As the Roman Catholic Bishop of Chiapas, the priest Bartolomeu de las Casas witnessed the enslavement of the indigenes of the New Spain. Enslaving who? The indigenes, not African. Who they enslaved? The American Indians. Who they enslaved? Man Friday. Who they enslaved? The Nagas. Y'all better stop playing, man. This is true story. This is not fake here. They say, yet idealized them into morally innocent, noble savages, living a simple life in harmony with Mother Nature. At the Valladolid debate 1550 to 1551 of the moral philosophy of enslaving the native people of the Spanish colonies, Bishop de las Casas reported the noble savage culture of the natives, especially noting their plain manner, social etiquette, and that they did not have the social customs of telling lies. We don't lie, Monaga. Kingdom of France. Oh, we know France. Let's go on and get France out of the way. We know France had everything to do with the Bone Savage. France had all the smoke for the Bone Savage. Right? In the intellectual debates of the late 16th and the 17th centuries, philosophers used the racial stereotypes. What stereotypes? Racials. If it's a racial stereotype, you know they had to be black. You know it had to be. It couldn't have been no red man or no pale face. The racial stereotype of the savage and the good savage. The noble savage is the good savage, right? As moral reproaches of the European monarchies fighting the 30 Years' War, 1618 to 1648, and the French Wars of Religion, 1615 to 1598. In the Essay of Cannibals, 1580, Michael de Montaigne reported that the Tupinamba people of Brazil ceremoniously eat the bodies of their dead. Lies. So we see the noble savage, just from what we done read, is all about the American Indian. And who was the epitome of the noble savage? Man Friday. They just told us. Man Friday. I call him Friday, the epitome of the noble savage in Robinson Crusoe, shipwrecked on his island off the coast of Venezuela. Salute. I know we drilling y'all with these facts back to back. Hey, but you can rewind and pause, my naga. This is true story. This ain't fake. This is not a diss record. This is real facts, my naga. They trying to subdue you. They want to subdue the naga. They want to subdue the Indians, subdue you, enslave you. And they pulled it off. And they want to show you a red man when we know the people of color in European art, the Aboriginal American in the European art, they depict it like this, Managa. They depicted you Indians like this. They depicted you noble savages like this. With your hoop earrings on, your medallions, it's all the same. Your hoop earrings on, they depict you the same way every time. And they got the nerve to lie to you today. And a lot of y'all got the nerve to believe them. Salute. They depict you the same way, with or without your feathers, Managa. It's you. Here you go again. And this one, hold on, let's back it up. Show you where this is from 1752. 1752 in Italy, Managa. Giovanni Battista Tiepoli, Allegory of the Planets and Continents. And we talking America. 1752. Right here, we talking the 18th century, 1700s. The artist 1733 to 1803, that's when he lived. And they showing what? Personification of America, Managa, is you. There ain't nobody else, Managa, don't let them lie to you. All those fake tribes, is you, Managa. Always with your hoop earrings on, is you, Managa. Man Friday, is you. Salute, is you. Recognize your culture, Managa. Don't let them lie to you. Don't let them lie to your children in this public education from this conquistador government, Managa. It's you. Yeah, Managa. Simple and plain, Managa. It ain't hard to tell. They can lie. They can do whatever. I don't care how much they lie. I'm gonna keep every time they lie, I'm gonna expose it. I'm saying, well, yeah, that's what it is. What about this? You understand, y'all? Salute. I mean, if you got the least shadow of a doubt, one thing you got to at least ask yourself is, if all this was fake, why do I have so much material? Salute. If this wasn't true, it ain't no way in hell I should have this amount of material, Managa. Salute. We gotta understand it. We gotta recognize the truth when it's looking us right in the face. You can't believe The sweet white man words. You gotta believe your own eyes sometime, Managa. I will always choose my own eyes over somebody else's lies. That's just me. That's just me, Managa. I got questions. You ain't gonna tell me just anything. I always got questions, Managa. I got questions. I need to get to the bottom of things. Always been that way. Always will be. Salute. That's just me. And I know some people gonna doubt. They gonna doubt their own eyes. And that, we gotta understand, a lot of people been brainwashed. We all got brainwashed. It's easier for some of us to break the spell than it is for others. You know what I'm saying? It ain't easy for everybody to, hop out here, look at sources, read stuff. Some people got mental blocks. They got stuff going on in their mind, and they just ain't there. Well, that's why we here. So y'all continue to tribe up with us, support the house, man. On Blackjack, this house of masculinity. Respect my house, so we'll let the donut hit your ass. With the Most High split your ass. Salute, tribe up. We out. Peace. You know I'm not gonna stay ready. If it's war, then we pulling out the bows. Strictly for my knockers, represent the stronghold. Better put your shield up when my arrows unload. Let's get one thing straight, Blackjack will never fold. If it's war, then we pulling out the bows. Strictly for my knockers, represent the stronghold. Better put your shield up when my arrows unload. Let's get one thing straight, Blackjack will never fold. Feather in my hat, Blackjack. Pull a dart from my back and lay a up out flat. American on my map when the trap pop out. Catch a colonizer lacking, we gon' rip off his scalp and pull his eyeballs out. Send them back where they came from. My knockers stay dangerous. Pack their ass on the ship and send them back to England. If it's war, my knockers then line up. Only real knockers slide with us. Let's tribe up. If it's war, then we pullin' out the bows. Strictly for my knockers, represent the stronghold. Better put your shield up when my arrows unload. Let's get one thing straight, Blackjack will never fold. If it's war, then we pullin' out the bows. Strictly for my knockers, represent the stronghold. Let them put your shield up when my arrows unload. Let's get one thing straight, Blackjack will never fold. Solid gold, they goose, the black magic lump of gold. I was told they labeled you a savage. Strictly for my knockers to slaughter of Babylon. Pull a sword from the stone, my knocker, the house of cards. Point out the pretenders, I bet you I make change. My any method necessary, I bring pain. And if you got your peace pipe with you, then fire up. Only real knockers ride with us, we tribe up. Hey, check this out. One more thing before we close out. I forgot. I meant to show y'all something for the new people. The old people who been here know. We was talking this noble savage stuff, and we was relating, showing that the noble savage is indeed the American Indian, which is indeed the American Negro. And we showed all the depictions from the books, from the movies. We talked about the Spanish, the British, and the French. I forgot. We always talk about it. I don't know how I forgot.
You big dummy.
We can't forget the French noble savage clocks. For the new people that don't know, they depicted noble savage clocks. Arbon savage. That's French for noble savage. Arbon savage is noble savage in French. This for the new people. I know the people who've been with me. They know this. That's for noble savage. These are the clocks they made depicting the American Indians that they enslaved. Nappy-headed Negroes with a bow and arrow. The noble savage clocks. If you don't believe me, research it yourself. Arbon savage clocks. French Arbon savage clocks. They're slaving Negro Indians. Arbon savage. You nappy-headed nigglets with your feathers on. This for the new people that don't know. We done studied this over here. All the people that's been rocking with me, they know what the Arbon savage is. I just forgot to put a little page not found. Look at that. They done sold that one. Well, we know all about what the American Indian truly looked like. The French made clocks depicting it. And we meant to bring this up during the live stream, but I got ahead of myself through time and I forgot. But I called it last minute. I said before I close it out, let me jump back in. Just for the new people that don't know where this all-born savage stuff comes from. Where this noble savage stuff come from. Connect the dots, my naga. Man Friday. Nappy-headed Negroes, feathers, enslaved. It's you. You didn't come from Africa. Salute. That's all I wanted to touch on, y'all. I wanted to touch on that before we roll out. Do your own research. Research the noble savage clocks. If you haven't done so already, do your homework. Show your children. Show your children what an all-born Negre, all-born savage clock is when they talk slavery in their school systems. And they're talking this from Africa slave ship. Tell your children to challenge their teachers and ask them about the noble savage clock showing the Indians that were enslaved. Challenge them. Take this to the public school system. Managa salute. Hey, I'm black.